Hello, lovely. Welcome to the Feel Love podcast and YouTube channel. My name is Marta. I'm the host of this loving space. We are talking about high vibe practices that you can embody and do throughout the day. But sometimes we also talk about sex and intimacy, trauma healing, lifestyle habits, you name it. Anything that relates to our health and wellness and overall existence as beautiful beings. You can expect to hear that from me here. But in terms of high vibrational existence, what has surprised a lot of people to hear is that the highest vibration we can radiate at is not love or joy or even gratitude. It's actually authenticity. And that is very important for everyone to know, because no matter how joyful you might be, no matter how loving you might show up, if it's not coming from a place of authenticity, it doesn't mean anything. It's like getting a compliment from someone that didn't actually mean the compliment. It doesn't feel good. And this matters to you particularly because if you are showing up in ways, if you're pursuing certain goals and activities, and like maybe you're going to the gym and you really want to get that dream body of yours, well, if you're not doing it from a healthy place, from a place of self-love, as opposed to the need for external validation, it's going to cause another experience of trauma to find its way to you, because you're being driven by fear, by lack, by insecurities, you name it. And so if that's the intention that you're going with, if that's the energy that you are bringing forward into anything that you do, that is the energy that's going to come back to you. So if you find yourself going on dates and they always end in terrible ways, or maybe you're going to the gym and you're trying to increase your weight and increase some muscle mass, or maybe lose some weight, but it feels like you always hit a certain block, you kind of get to where you're going a little bit, but then it all comes crashing down. That's because you're not approaching it from a place of authenticity. You are not looking inwards enough to understand what is the driving force behind why this current struggle is happening. So like, why are you currently struggling with being underweight or overweight? Why are you struggling with finding love? And then once you can understand that, what it is that's blocking you, what it is that's protecting you from whatever's on the other side, that's when you can actually align with your truth and then move from that place. So now the dating becomes easier and more fun. Exercising is easy and fun, and the weight loss or weight gain just happens a lot more naturally than it ever could have before. So if this is of interest to you, I'm going to share 5 tips as to how to implement authenticity into your life so that you can be a high vibrational person, so that you can attract everything that you desire at that high vibe stance and move away from everything less than. Now, the last one, I gotta say, is my favorite. Well, it's not my favorite. They're all my favorite, but you'll understand why the last one's gonna be really important to listen to. So make sure you stay for that. But number 1, positive music. If you are listening to music that is negative, that is gonna bring you down, that has degrading lyrics, or even like the tempo and the music and the melody behind it is just like so depressing, or it makes you feel so angry, that's that energy, the emotion that you feel is vibrating at that energy. So if you're feeling really angry, that's what you're radiating out into the world, and so that's what you're going to bring back to you. And if you're listening to lyrics about being broke, or hating women, or hating men, or cheating on someone, or getting cheated on, you are literally speaking that into your existence if you're singing along to these things. And if you're not singing along, you're listening to it, and it's becoming an internal script that your mind is going to replay over and over and over again and believe that this is its reality, because the mind does not know the difference between reality and imagination. That's why meditations and guided meditations and like visualization is so beautiful, so powerful, and so important, is because the mind doesn't know. And so the more that you are feeding yourself things that vibrate at a low frequency, the more that's just what you're going to omit, because you are what you consume. And again, that is so much more than food. If you haven't listened to one of my prior podcasts, please go do so. It's about the authenticity and you are what you consume, but I can go into more detail into a future YouTube video if you guys would like. Just let me know. But positive music, positive lyrics. I know for my gym bros, you want to listen to some of that hardcore metal, angry, like Slipknot stuff when you're going to the gym trying to get your pump on. Please don't do that, because you're emitting a frequency that's making the women afraid of you. You may not realize it, but that's what's happening. And if you are attracting certain women, darling, it's not the ones that you want to be attracting. It's the ones that are also vibrating at that same frequency of self-hate, neglect, self-harm, and anger and resentment and all that fun stuff that you need to be talking about with your therapist or counselor with. Okay. But for the ladies, some of the songs that I'm hearing on the radio, I don't even listen to the radio, but when I do, I remember why I don't listen to the radio. They're very toxic. It's about sleeping from one guy to the next, and about hating the chick that your old guy is now with. Like, why? No. Enough. I could go into like a full YouTube video for all of these topics separately, but I'm going to be considerate of your time. We'll do that in the future. But another one, food, authenticity. In order to vibrate at that frequency, you cannot be eating fake food. Don't come at me in the comments about, food, real, bad. There's space for almost everything, but not everything should be consumed in moderation. If it was produced in a factory, i.e. not grown from Mother Nature, or in some natural environment, or how I like to see it is, if your ancestors didn't have access to this, you shouldn't either. Things with caramel extract and caramel coloring and yeast extract that just doesn't need to be there, and like skim milk powder or gums and all of these different types of preservatives, they're not serving your body. Our bodies are nature. We are a manifestation of earth. We have water, we have earth, we have fires and belly. Like, you cannot be eating things that were not made for human consumption. Probably were not made for any consumption. You are going to vibrate at a frequency of artificiality because that's what you're consuming. Again, you are what you eat. And if you are continuously eating things that Mother Nature did not provide naturally, that you will not be seeing in a commercial, but you are eating the things that you are seeing on commercials, that's not serving you. Your body just does not like it. It cannot process these things. It does not recognize the genetic and chemical makeup of certain ingredients because we're just not made up of that. And so you're hurting yourself. Your blood sugar levels are like fluctuating like this. Your microbiome is completely unhappy because you're not feeding any of the good bacteria, but you are feeding the bad bacteria. For example, Candida, which is like a yeast. You are causing your arteries to get clogged from unhealthy fats, and a lot of them. There's so much sugar that you feel like you're high for 25 minutes and then you're crashing. Like, these things are not serving you. And this is not coming from a place of shame. I, in my past, struggled with an eating disorder. And so I know that this is a very delicate topic. And so if this is something that you struggle with, please know I empathize. I know how painful it is. It's hell. It's a war zone in your mind and in your body that it feels like you're never going to escape from. But I promise you that you will if you choose to go down the path of self-healing and self-love and healing. And if that's something you would like help with, to understand what are these subconscious patterns that you are moving from that are causing you to have some sort of disordered eating or eating disorder, please reach out to me or any other professional that you feel comfortable with. But you deserve to live a life of authenticity and freedom and food freedom and just love. So please know that this is coming from a place of love and not a place of shame or judgment or guilt or anything. This is purely information that I'm sharing from my heart to yours so that you know how to be your highest vibrational self, happiest self, favorite self. I can guarantee that the happiest version of you did not just drink 7 shots of vodka and then went to McDonald's. That's regret the morning after every time. But now, can you imagine how beautiful life would feel if you could live like you're drunk and live like you just had the best meal of your life without needing anything that's unhealthy for you? That is what self-love is. And that's what you get through healing, through energy healing, through trauma healing, through self-expression, through coming home to yourself. Believe me, it's beautiful. And if you're not there yet, I get it. But please do pursue yourself. Okay. Another one is real fabrics. The clothes that we wear have a very big effect on how we feel within ourselves, and therefore the energy that we bring out into the world. So things like polyester, no good, does not serve us. Preferably, there are 3 that are my favorite: linen, silk, and organic cotton. Now, we are starting to use things like hemp. Personally, I'm not a fan. It's a little bit rough on the skin, but some people are into it, and that's cool, and maybe you can give it a go if you'd like to. But being mindful of the things that you're wearing, the material in particular. We can go into the style and the fitting of it in another video, but the fabric, if it's made by Mother Nature, it's authentic. And I want that just to be like the premise for this whole video. If Mother Nature made it, go for it. If she didn't, think twice. Okay. Number 4. Toxic-free makeup. Ideally, no makeup, but sometimes we like to dress up a little bit and express ourselves in a different way. And so if you can start purchasing makeup that is probably not coming from like one of the big brand name stores, I'm sure you can imagine which ones I'm referring to, and start either making your own or buying it from like local products, or even checking out on Etsy, things like that. I am currently wearing a lip balm made with beeswax, cinnamon, peppermint essential oil, not coconut oil, some other kind of oil, maybe shea butter. And it feels lovely, it tastes lovely. And as for my skin, there's nothing on here. But that is also because I use a lot of toxic-free skincare products, which I'm going to talk about in another video. But this is just what I want you to keep in mind, is that you are so beautiful as you are. And if you feel the need to wear makeup to hide a part of yourself or accentuate a part of yourself in a way that's actually harming you, but you're doing it for the validation from other people, it's not worth it, because it's going to continue to find its way back to you. Again, karma is real. So what you put out is what you get back. And if what you're putting out is, I'm insecure, I don't feel good enough, I need to try for you, you're going to get people who continuously make you feel that way, who are going to show you, hey, I don't think you're good enough. Hey, you should wear more makeup. Hey, you should change this and this and this, and maybe then you'll be good enough. Oh, no, you're not. And that doesn't make anybody feel better. Now, I understand makeup does make us feel prettier. Of course, it's a form of self-expression. It's fun, but if it's hurting you and it's going onto the biggest organ on our body, which is our skin, so you're absorbing everything, your body's absorbing all of that. Now, if those are toxins, that's a lot that your body has to now filter through and filter out. And we are already exposed to so many through pollution, through foods that we eat that we might not, even when we're doing our best to buy organic and local and things like that, pesticides are still going to find their way in there. And again, pollution, right? And then there's everyday stressors. So the more that we can support our body, mind, and spirit in living a life of ease, the more we can. And now the 5th point, which is like the underlying one under all of these, because if there's any part of you that struggles to pursue like not wearing makeup, or struggles to pursue letting go of your whole wardrobe that makes your bum look big and waist look snatched, but you really have a hard time breathing in, or you don't want to give up your bed sheets because they look so pretty, or maybe you can't afford it and there's a money block there. The most important tip, if you can only start with one for now, honestly, is energy and trauma healing. Because again, energy, we are energy, everything is energy. And so if you haven't cleansed your own energy, if you haven't understood your own energy and like fallen in love with it and even know what it feels like to be you, not just the human you, but the spiritual you, then how can anyone else find you too? It won't even make sense to be loved because you haven't yet connected with the essence of who you are, which is love. And so before you can get to a place of going makeup free, if that's not something you've done in a while or ever, because of whatever insecurities might have come up as you were growing up, then it's never going to feel authentic. It's going to feel terrifying. And even though you might be the most beautiful woman in the room or man, you're not going to believe it and you're not going to feel that way. And so you're not going to be vibrating at the frequency of authenticity because you're going to be thinking, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me. Oh my God, this is awful. And that's not healthy for you either. So yes, the organic natural fabrics, the healthy lyrics that you can listen to, these are all beautiful things. And if that's where you want to focus on right now, just because life is crazy, cool, do that. But the most important, impactful, and powerful task, activity, practice, tip that you can pursue out of what I'm sharing today is, in fact, the trauma healing. Because what it really is just, it's not healing, it's just releasing. It's releasing everything that isn't you. It's releasing everything that is on the lower end of the vibrational scale. And if you guys aren't familiar with what I'm talking about when I talk about vibrations, I can link a diagram down below. I cannot remember the name of the lovely lady who refers to this scale all the time, but she's a beautiful speaker. She channels. I will have to share that down below as well. But yes, I'll share that with you so you guys can kind of get an idea what I'm talking about when I say vibrations and like high and low and where they all are. But please do keep in mind that your energy is everything, because everything is energy. And so when you can tap into yours and feel the abundance that you are, because you are the universe manifested into this human body, you tap into everything. The abundance, the infinity, the beauty, perfection, and divinity that you are, we all are. And life becomes, again, infinite and limitless. And you are unstoppable. And everything that you desire, you realize is already yours and can actually show up in your external reality. So that when you walk out makeup free, you feel good, your skin is healthy and glowing, and maybe that doesn't feel like it right now. Again, that's the body speaking to you. What the mind suppresses, the body expresses. So we're going to come back to the trauma healing thing. But for now, as always, you are welcome to book through the link in my bio. I'm accepting clients right now. You do just have to apply to work with me to see if we are a good fit. But I wish you all the best today, always, and forever. And as always, I hope you can feel the love. I'll talk to you soon. Have a lovely day.